So these exist. I recently found out about these through two of my favorite artists, Drawing with Waffles and Timmy Danso, have recently checked them out, and I figured I'd go ahead and give them a try myself too. And like Waffles, I went ahead and I got the colored pencils, the markers, and the crayons. And I'm going to test them out in my Ohuhu Sketchbook. Technically, this sketchbook is mostly compatible with markers, but gotta find an empty page. Hold on, here we go. But honestly, I feel like the texture of the paper seems like it could handle crayon and pencil just fine. And so I'm going to go ahead and quickly color swatch these. So I'm excited for these two. Not so much these. Water-based markers have always been the devil. So we'll see about this. So I color swatched the crayons, and I think I got a bit of a different set than what Waffles got. So this is a 32 pack, and it came with all the skin tone colors, but it also came with these, like blue, green, yellow, and a few more browns and a black. And at first I was like, well, that's a little strange. But then after thinking about it, it's actually not that strange. At first I figured, well, maybe they're supposed to be like undertones because a lot of artists tend to do that. But this is Crayola. I don't think that they were thinking about, oh, we have to include crayons with undertones. Like, kind of makes no sense since we've already got undertones of almond, rose, and golden. Granted, there's more than that. But when I went ahead and color swatched them and I looked at the names of the crayons, it kind of makes sense. Blue for blue eyes, green for green eyes, blonde hair, hazel eyes, red hair, brown eyes, and black hair. So that's the official name of each crayon. So I'm sure they just wanted to sort of cover all their bases for those who wanted to create different types of human characters with all of these kinds of characteristics. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the color pencils, and I'm just going to get this thing out of here. It's just bothering me. Okay, there we go. Oh no, my crayons. All right, so I did the pencils. I definitely liked how they feel. Same basic color selection as the Crayola crayons. And now to do my markers. And then this is the color swatch for the markers. And just color swatching them, I can already tell that I am not gonna be a fan. Mostly because as I was doing these are the lightest colors, and I was like trying to make sure I could like actually see the color, but after going over it like twice, I started to have the paper start ripping up. So I was like, better calm down with that. But regardless, I'm excited to try and see how many kind of color skin tones I can get. I'm not going to do every single marker and crayon and color pencil, but I definitely want to get into at least the majority of them. This is a lot of stuff that I have on my desk at the moment. Kind of bring them into view. Usually I just start drawing with a regular pencil, but I probably could start with one of my colored pencils. I don't see why not. Just starting off with trying to be as light-handed as possible. I'm not even sure what color skin tone I'm going to go with this. I imagine maybe something similar to whatever I've got here. What even is this? This is a medium deep almond. So probably makes sense to start with similar colors. And I'm going to have her just kind of looking over her shoulder. I feel like I kind of do this pose a lot. And then a quick half up, half down kind of hairstyle. Just want to go kind of simple. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and try a marker. So I used a medium deep almond for the sketch. Oh, I'm so nervous because of streaking. This is why I can't stand water markers. To those that like them, I'm sorry for trashing them. Just trying to color quickly to see if I can somewhat avoid streaking. But even just lifting the marker from the paper and then re-dabbing it ends up leaving like little dots and puddles like within the skin tone. Ugh, this is rough. I hate it. Anyways, let's see if I can fix it up. I'm gonna go ahead and add more pencil. This is the same color, the medium deep almond. And I'm just seeing if I can, I don't even know. I'm not entirely too sure what I'm trying to achieve here. This is definitely one of those, let's see where I take this and just pray it comes out moderately okay. I'm gonna go with the deep almond, which is a shade darker, and see what I get. I mean, the pencil helps. Does it work miracles? No, but I feel like we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce some black ink to sort of sculpt everything out in a sense, so I can start defining her features. Well, it's somewhat coming together. I'm way more proud of it than I was a few minutes ago. So for my first one, I don't hate it, but I'm not completely in love. Definitely feel like I should have played it safe. Like I feel like I just got too bold too fast with thinking, okay, let's try the marker now. And this happened. But maybe I can put more colored pencil in there and kind of even it out. It's like right in here that I feel like it got really splotchy. Because like I got nervous in this area of the face. And my nervousness kind of just led to doubting myself. And I think that's where all the mess ups kind of happened. But now it's starting to even out. So I don't know what I'm getting all like crazy worried about. So the colored pencil on top of the marker really helps smooth everything out, in my opinion. I'm trying to go with a rose undertone to make her lips look super natural. Gonna add more shading. Then I'm gonna switch over to the crayons and color in her hair and the eyes. Add some eye highlights. I don't know if this Posca Paint Pen is gonna work on top of the waxy Crayola pencils. Maybe. Kind of. And I think I'm done. Absolutely love the end result. Did not enjoy the journey that it took to get there. So this time I'm going to go ahead and use my pencil and pencil a portrait in. Gonna be honest, probably gonna use the markers even less now. And this character I'm drawing is actually my most beloved OC, Divenna. I don't draw her as much these days, but I hope for that to change because she's been with me for about 10 years or so. Okay, so I used mostly almond with this first character. I'm going to go ahead and use the golden line. So I went ahead and I pulled out the medium deep golden, the deep golden, and the extra deep golden. So I'm starting out with the medium deep golden, just kind of putting down base. I feel like it's too light. Like I'm not pressing hard because I want to layer these colors. So it could go darker, but the skin tone of my OC Divenna is much, much deeper. I'm going to switch over to the deep golden. It's a shade darker, and I think it would do better. You know what I think it is? It's because I used the marker on this one. Even though I said, I'm going to forget about the marker. Oh, shoot. Okay. Am I going to regret this? I'm probably going to regret this. The pencil kind of is gappy, so when I'm coloring, it's so much lighter than its true color. And if I color too hard, then it's going to be harder to layer my colors on top of each other. So I could just build it up, because that's what you do with colored pencils. You just build them up lightly on top of each other until they get deeper and deeper and deeper. But I remember Temmie on her video was having trouble because she couldn't get that good saturation. So I'm going to follow my instinct. Maybe if I just break it down into sections, probably would be better. Okay, that's not too bad. The only problem is, gosh, why am I so nervous? Okay, so yeah, streakiness is inevitable. I'm just gonna have to embrace it and hope that this comes out just as good as the first one did. All right. So now I'm gonna take my deep golden and just buff it out. Try and just get it all smoothed. I got this like line right here that just goes right across her face. How am I gonna fix that? I don't know. Weirdly enough though, I started with the colored pencil here and I went over it with the marker and it was a lot smoother than the other areas. Keep that in mind for the next one. I almost feel like this video is just gonna be 20 minutes worth of my anxiety all over the place with each character. So I'm gonna put down this colored pencil first and then go over it with the marker. And I'm using the same color for each, which is the deep rose of the colored pencil and the marker. Nice, I like that. I'm going to do it again for the bottom lip, and I'm just going a shade lighter with the bottom lip, and then going over with the marker. And then I might go over it again with the deep rose, and then finish up with the hair. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do her eyes, and they're green in color. The only green I have, though, is from the crayon pack. So I'm going to try this out. And I don't see why it wouldn't work. It's just I am a bit cautious about the fact that I might not be able to do my Posca Paint Pen on it because of all the wax from the crayon. So I guess we'll see. Probably just use my inking pen and then go over top of this with the white Posca Paint Pen. Oh, for some weird reason, it's not working anymore. I guess the wax like got to it. Let me try a different one. There we go. All right, let's hope this works. Oh, it does. It does. Okay, So this one's done, and I definitely like it. I feel like doing the sketching and the inking first helped a lot more with this one, rather than just sketching and going straight into the coloring that I did on this one. All right, so let's try another character right here. And I'm just getting a little bit more artsy with this character. Added a hat, as if that's the definition of getting more artsy. Add a hat. So it seems like I permanently damaged this liner, which sucks so much. It just seems like when I was going over on this eye with the black, it just may have picked up too much wax from the crayon. And I figured if I just rub it on here, it may return, like all the ink could return, but it just doesn't seem likely. Unless it just ran out of ink conveniently at the same time, and I'm blaming the wax. I don't know. But I have other ones, so it's not that big of a loss. The only thing is that this size is slightly larger than the one that is broken, which isn't terrible. It's just harder to get a lot of these thinner lines inked. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rose undercolor. And I'm starting with the markers because I'm kind of getting used to them. Kind of. I'm kind of feeling even braver and adding shadows with the marker. But maybe I shouldn't get too carried away. Maybe I should calm down. Although I did say earlier that I was going to do colored pencils first and then put marker down, but I forgot. Let's see if I remember for the next one. I definitely feel like I'm getting better. I feel like there's always a learning curve with everything if it's new to you, of course. At the same time, I feel like people just expect artists to make masterpieces with whatever product they use. And I mean, technique matters more than product, because I'm able to use Sharpies for coloring just as well as I do with any other sort of professional alcohol marker. And that just mostly has to do with how I've learned to use them. So I feel like it's the same with this. Like, yes, it's Crayola. Is it the greatest brand in the world? No. But I mean, it's not the worst. Looking at you, Rose Art. Yeah, I like this one. Not too bad. I feel my confidence growing, so that's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up her eyes, her hair. And I figured I'd use some more of my crayons. I feel like my crayons are getting the least amount of love here. Purely because of how waxy they are, and they leave just a waxy residue if you just push a little too hard. Yeah, these waxy flecks are starting to annoy me. All right, third character is done. I feel like I should add just one more. I actually really wanted to do several more, but these last three characters have kind of left me a little whipped. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do like a profile face. Not entirely too sure what colors I'm going to use for this character, because I've gone through all three undertones, this one being the almond, this one being the golden, this one being the rose. I feel like I want to do rose again, but darker toned. Or I could show the lighter tones of either the golden or the almond. That's a possibility. My original plan was to do a light tone and a deep tone for each undertone color, but due to personal flaws, it doesn't seem like that'll be happening. Okay, and I said I was going to go ahead and do my color pencils first and then lay my marker on top to see if that helps with streaking. And that's mostly the biggest reason why I'm going with a darker tone for the rose, because the overlapping streakiness effect doesn't seem to be as strong when it comes to lighter toned colors. And that's not just a thing with skin tone colors either. It happens also when I use a very dark purple or a very dark blue. Just the opaqueness of the color on top of being a water-based marker really shows like that streaking effect. So I'm hoping to see if putting color pencil down first makes any difference when it comes to the streaking. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. This is my medium deep rose. I'm gonna find that color in my marker, which is this one. And let's see what happens. Ooh, not bad. And I mean, that's not to say all streaking has gone away, but it's a lot less. Interesting. So I assume then that the wax has something to do with that from the colored pencil. The only thing is will I be able to create shading? So that was my medium deep rose. Let's see about using my deep rose color. Okay, yes, I can create shading. Sweet. I was worried that the colored pencil wouldn't layer well for shading. And it does seem I have to push a little harder than normal, but there is shading. Yay. Okay, nice. So I probably should have done this method from the beginning and I probably would have had much better even results. But I mean, you can still see a bit of the streaking, so it's not like perfect, but I do feel like it's less. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of her with the colored pencil and then the marker. All right, marker time. I'm gonna see how good this actually works. I'm still trying to be quick about it, just in case. But yeah, there's still streaking, but it doesn't seem as noticeable. And I'm sure I could probably even go over it again, or maybe not. This doesn't seem to be doing anything. Because yeah, the streaking is definitely noticeable. Like you can see my strokes over here, how I like colored her neck in. All right, and then I'm just gonna finish up with the hair and the eyes. And that's that. So my final thoughts. I feel like the video itself is just a very accurate representation of my feelings towards these products. It's Crayola. Again, they're not the worst, but they are a little difficult to work with when you're trying to get a certain end result. You know, I'm trying to go for non-streakiness and, flawless. And maybe that's too big of an expectation for me. I'm not entirely too sure. I did hope for this video to be less complainy. I feel like I complained a lot throughout the entire process, but of course I wanted to keep it real. I wanted to be honest with you all, especially like how I was feeling through each one. I had anxiety through each and every single character. I just did. And pretending otherwise just would have been dishonest, and I didn't want to do that. That said, I did really like the colored pencils. The crayons were okay. I don't know about using them in my own art to make like final pieces and stuff like that. They're just too waxy. They leave a residue that, I have to like peel off. And when you're peeling it off, you end up peeling like some of the color off with it. So markers, of course, I just absolutely can't. I can't with water-based markers. I would say I'd stick to hand lettering with these. I especially like the super tips for hand lettering, but for coloring, I do know that if you add water, like more water to your water-based markers, you can sort of get a more smooth and less streaky sort of end result. And I have tried that in the past with previous videos, which you can check out here on my channel. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.